I didn't plan on doing this, but I think I have to, because what we have just seen in qualifying at the Formula 1 Grand Prix de Monaco 2021, it's actually not as long a name as they normally give those Grand Prix, but these Grand Prix. But anyway, Charles Leclerc has just put it on pole in his home Grand Prix in a midfield Ferrari. What we thought was a midfield Ferrari. It is quite clearly not a midfield Ferrari. And Hamilton's down in 7th. Sainz up in 4th. Verstappen's put it in 2nd. But that's all great, you know. We could talk about a lot of things. Tsunoda's poor. Ricciardo, shocking. Alonso, shocking. But Leclerc binned it in the wall with 1.5 minutes to go. And he takes pole because red flag of the session. How controversial do you want it to be? You could not ask for a more controversial way of getting pole. Crashing to stop the session, and by default you get pole. As I'm saying this, there is no damage to the car to the point where he will be having to change parts and get a penalty. But there still could be. I find it unlikely. Maybe overnight they could find something, and in the morning they end up having to change parts and they get a penalty starting last, or 5th, 10th, depending on how many places he gets penalised. But I can't believe that Ferrari have been midfield all season. They've been good, fine. McLaren, but they've been midfield. And then for Charles Leclerc's home Grand Prix, they show up with a winning car. I hope it carries on for the whole season, to be honest with you, because that just adds to the Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc as well on top. Bit of a shame for McLaren, because obviously they're not there. And Norris might be, but Ricciardo still hasn't really found himself in the car, found his speed. But Charles Leclerc, if you watch the footage, it's pretty clear. It is not at all done on purpose. He just hits his tyre on the entry and then clips the apex. Not the apex. It's like it goes over the curb too much and his tyre's already off and he just into the wall. I think it's pretty obvious it's not on purpose, because if it was on purpose, he wouldn't have crashed like that. If he was going to do it on purpose, he would have done it like Michael Schumacher all them years ago when he just went wide at Raskas. But if it was on purpose, he would have only broken, he would have just, spun or something, and he wouldn't have did it like he did, because it's a really risky way to crash, damaging your gearbox. But luckily, he hasn't, it seems. So it stands. Verstappen will start second, Leclerc will start first. And then we go Bottas, Sainz, Norris, Gasly, Hamilton, Vettel, Perez, Giovinazzi. Those are the top 10. Great quality from Giovinazzi. Hopefully he could get points. Be Alfa Romeo's first points of the season. But the other thing that has happened today and yesterday is obviously Formula 2 racing, where we had in the first sprint race Guan Yu Zhou winning there. In the second race, we had, this morning, when we had Liam Lawson won the race. I do like Liam Lawson. He's from New Zealand, so, I just like him a bit more. And, how sad is this? He's gonna win with a great move on Piastri in Raskas, but then it's been disqualified. Sad times for Liam Lawson. He got disqualified for some kind of technical car, the way the car was built I don't know. He just got disqualified, and it's sad. And then we go to the feature race, and Théo Pourchaire. I think it's Pourchaire. I've called it Pourchaire all my life, but not all my life. I've only known them for like a year, but everyone says it differently. Just going to call him Théo. So yeah, Théo wins the feature race from pole after qualifying in pole, becomes the youngest F2 winner, I believe. Very exciting. Let's have a look. Is he the youngest winner? Feature race. Poucher becomes F2's youngest ever race winner. Yes, he does. So that's quite nice. Theo Poucher, I think he's 17 years old. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. He only 17. I mean, it's unlikely he's going to go straight into F1 next year. But I wouldn't be surprised if he has one more year in F2, wins that, and then goes on to F1 in 2023 or 4. I'm going to have to do a who is on this guy because he's just won a race, becomes youngest ever F2 winner. So I think he definitely deserves a video. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be coming soon, I suppose. But great race for him. Good for Dan Ticktum, obviously. I didn't point that out, that when Liam Lawson got disqualified, that meant that Dan Ticktum took the win, which is great because he did not have an ideal round one in kind of Bahrain 4 or 5 weeks ago. Also for Yuri Vips, ends up on third because of that, and that's nice. Roy Nissany getting his first podium F2, also nice, but I don't want to stay for too long because I just wanted to make a quick one, because you talk about F2, because tomorrow when we have IMO, the IMOs are sometimes quite long, and I don't feel like sometimes people want to sit through 20 minutes of that, so we can, if we talk about F2 now instead of tomorrow, then just all F1 tomorrow, and that's going to be much more of a spicy video, so make sure you are obviously subscribe notifications. This should be a given at this point. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for the Monaco Grand Prix, but I'm excited. Charles Leclerc's on pole. Let's go.